This module is part 2 of strategies to prompt active student engagement with opportunities to respond, or OTRs. Hello, my name is Dr. Naomi Brahim, and I'm the Multi-Tiered Systems of Support Manager for Jefferson County Public Schools in Louisville, Kentucky. Again, as a reminder, an OTR is a teacher-presented question or direction that facilitates active student engagement with the curriculum. That is, OTRs make the students think and interact with the lesson content. Importantly, all OTRs include a back and forth with the teacher that needs to be taught to the students, same as any other routine. In this module, we focus on those strategies that require students to respond by holding something up or discussing with their peers. We begin with OTRs that require students to physically hold something up. It could be something they created, something they selected, or something they wrote. Considering response cards, we'll start with the erasable card or slate. You've probably seen this. Students have a small whiteboard onto which they write answers and hold up on the teacher's cue. The beauty of the erasable slate is that the teacher can ask a full range of questions that might involve a word, a number, a sentence, or even a picture. They could also do this on a piece of paper, but the erasable board is much easier and saves on paper. The key is for the teacher to be very clear as to what the students are to do, and then to provide thinking or working time prior to providing a prompt for the class to hold up their cards in unison. A second way to use response cards is to provide students with cards that have pre-printed answers such as yes, no, true, false, and letters for multiple choice responding. While these cards do not provide the range of options associated with slates, they are easy to use quickly and at higher rates as part of an instructional routine. Cards of this nature can be purchased, but they can also be created quite simply by cutting out cardstock, printing the desired responses on each, laminating for durability, and placing on a simple keyring. Here are some of the ways teachers use the cards.
All right, you have your true-false cards, right? Give me a thumbs up if you have those ready. Awesome. All right, true or false? The capital of Kentucky is Lexington. Yes. Great job. For this question, these are your 4 answers that you can choose from. A, conquer. B, explode. C, shoot. D, scramble. Okay, which of these words did the author use to describe what the Allies did in World War II? Yes, oh my goodness, I see everyone with answer A. You all did a great job. All right, so I need red or green card response. If you plan to go to computers next, I want you to hold up your green card. If you plan to go over to manipulatives next, I want you to hold up your red card. All right, show me your cards on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Note that in this last example, the teacher was actually combining the open-ended benefits of slate responses with the simplicity of the card set. When the card set is laminated, it can be used like a dry erase board. In every case, the teacher prompted the students clearly ahead of time, then gave a pause. The teacher kept the pace brisk, very short and quick answers. This is just meant to get everyone's thoughts on the content as the lesson begins and shouldn't take up much time. Another strategy, the stop and jot, is simply a quick prompt from the teacher for everyone to rapidly write down a response to some question. These are not typically held up, but the teacher can individually ask students to volunteer their answers. For example, in the middle of a particularly complex part of a lesson, the teacher may ask everyone to stop and write something brief related to the content. What they write can be a summary, an application, or simply an expression of one's opinions. Here's a quick look at how this might be done in asking for an opinion.
I leaned over and kissed Winn-Dixie, and he was already asleep and snoring. We just hit a really sad part. And write in your reading journal your feelings about what we just read. 2 minutes. Good job.
The teacher can have the student report out or can read and respond to each later. The final type of OTR we'll discuss involves setting students up to have discussions. We'll cover the turn and talk and the cued retell strategies. The turn and talk is another strategy that is likely familiar to most teachers. This involves asking students to pair off or form small groups to discuss a specific topic or idea. The teachers provide an explicit prompt, allows time for student discussion, and then asks for examples from the students. One recommended strategy is to ask the students to share what they heard from others in the group. This helps to remind students that their comments to others are important. Cued retell is a variation of the turn and talk, but in this one, there's a specific direction to summarize or retell a set of key points, maybe even a list. Partners take turns asking one another to provide a summary or key points, with the questioner holding up the correct answer and prompting as necessary to facilitate partner success. Watch how these students engaged in the cued retell strategy.
Okay, that's the fourth. Do you remember the last of the 5 mitosis phases?
Give me a hint.
It starts with T and sounds like something you talk into.
Telophase?
Yes, my turn.
Note that each student gets a turn and the questioner has the role of helping the responder to be successful. In this module, we've talked about using response boards and cards, and you just saw some discussion strategies. As always, it's recommended that the teacher consider how these OTRs may be best used during their lesson planning.